$1,000 in the bank, $5,000 in credit card debt, a carpet cleaning business destroying his back, and a young family to support. That was Carson 6 years ago, a self-described cruisy surfer who dropped out of real estate school and was living week to week on the Gold Coast. Today, he and his wife Tanya have built a property portfolio worth $2.6 million. They've done 10 deals. They've sold the carpet cleaning business. His 11-year-old son is now scouting properties for the family. How does someone go from negative $4,000 to a multi-million-dollar property empire without a degree, without connections, and without any real starting capital? That's exactly what you're about to see. I'm Dupna Boholt, co-founder of I Love Real Estate. Our mission is to help everyday Australians compress the traditional 20-year path of financial freedom to just 3 to 5 years. And Carson's story proves that it doesn't matter if you didn't finish school, if you started in the red, if you've got no idea what you're doing. There's a place for everyone in real estate. Before we get into it, if you don't want to miss any of these deep dives into how everyday Australians are crushing it in the property market, hit the subscribe button right now. We've got so many more stories like this one coming. Let's get into Carson and Tanya's incredible story. How are you guys?
Good.
Good.
Good. Excited to be here?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, a bit nervous or anything?
Yes, it's my first rodeo, so.
First rodeo? Fantastic. So for you guys, you, particularly Carson, because I spoke to you a couple of times on the phone about your position, you were very much the, let's face it, surfer dude.
Oh, try hard surfer dude, more than anything.
Try hard surfer dude.
Yeah.
He's on shoes today, so that's a start.
That's a good start.
That's right. Yeah, and well, look, I don't take life too seriously, and be pretty cruisy, so yeah.
Have you still got the combi?
No, unfortunately, we drove it over from WA and here to the sunny coast, but we had to let that go. Tans got caught for stuck at the lights here at the sunny coast with kids screaming in the back. Said, "Nah, it's gone. No aircon." So
it didn't start.
It didn't start too often.
Notoriously common for that.
Yeah, it looked cool, but yeah, not practical.
Very good. All right. So you moved across from WA to here.
Yep.
Your original position was pretty dire.
Yeah. We didn't have the greatest starting position. Like I thought I was doing all right. When I was 18, I bought a unit off a customer because I was a carpet cleaner, and I went travelling around Australia with my brother, and I get the phone call halfway around, it's doubled in value. So I'm like, sweet, I'm an awesome property guy. And but then sold that and did some travelling and did some missions where I met Tans. We volunteered for a couple of years doing that, and then the cash disappeared.
So what's this failed real estate WA back to farm? What's the go there?
Well, school wasn't, I didn't do the greatest.
Wasn't your thing?
No, so I was trying to work out what I was doing, and my folks were buying investment property in Perth, and I hear the agent saying, he's one of the best agents in Perth, saying, my folks said, so how's it going? He goes, I made about 60K a month. I was like, I know what I'm doing. That's what I want to do now. That sounded pretty good to me. But I went to REWA, failed that, and I got halfway through and I was like, nah, I'm going back to the farm. So I rang up my uncle and said, I'm coming to pick cherries and strawberries, and that was that. So that was my failed agency start.
Okay, so you'd bought a PPR, it had gone up in value, you're travelling around, you sell that, you go through your money, and you got $1,000. So that's your starting position.
Yeah. So we moved from here down to the Gold Coast, and my folks, the old man had some cash to get the carpet cleaning pest control business started, and that's when we kind of came across yourself. So.
And you had a credit card bill of five grand.
Of course, yes.
So you're actually behind zero.
That's right.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So before we get it, when did you find I Love Real Estate? Like, how did that come about?
I don't know how I got on your email list. I've been reading your emails for a couple of years, and I was talking to a customer once again that was trying to sign me up for Amway, and I said, look, I'm more of a property guy, and then she's like, oh, I've been listening to this Dimphna lady, and I was like, oh, I'm actually signed up.
So why did you say my name?
Yeah, and I was like, I actually think there's something coming up this weekend, so that one thing was enough to get me to sign up for it, and I knew I didn't have any money, so I dragged my folks and Tans along, and here we are.
So you got your dad to pay for it then?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Dad, you really need to do this.
That's right. I had to be there. It wouldn't work. So that's right. So.
Well, good on you. Good on you for seeing the vision with it.
Yep.
So your first deal, in I Love Real Estate was back in 2015.
Correct.
Yep.
Yep.
What was it? Talk to me about it.
So this was up in the hinterland. One of the things you speak about was, especially if you don't have a lot of cash, we only had 400k roughly to buy something, is to find something on multiple titles because the deal's not going to cost as much. So
it fits the bill with the training?
Correct, yep. So this was a little cottage and it was on 3 titles. The cottage was on 1 title. So I saw it come up for sale within an hour and I rang up the lady, and another thing you speak about is the due diligence clause.
Yes.
So that's probably one of the biggest things I've taken away is using that. So I quickly rang her up and said, you haven't even seen it. I said, look, I'm keen to put a 3-day DD clause, and we picked that one up. And within the next day, there was 3 or 4 people trying to buy it because she didn't market it properly with titles or anything. So
that's fantastic.
So with that one, we basically just separated the titles. Got the solicitors, Pacific Law, to do that for me because I didn't really understand how that all worked. And we got it valued. It was 145k uplift, a few weeks after settlement. So
great.
Yeah.
So your dad came in on this one?
Correct. Yeah. So this is one I did with my folks. Yeah. So they funded it.
Tanya,
yeah.
what was your view of Carson running off and doing all of this crazy stuff with this crazy cult?
Just come into my mind when I actually came into the meeting. I was like, this is kind of like Amway.
Just pop that on your chin, darling.
Nicer people though. I don't know. For me, I was stoked because it's such a passion. He was always talking. He was always on the internet, looking at different deals he could do if he could do them.
Yep.
I was stoked, and something came alive in him.
Yep.
So I was happy to watch
Support that.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Good. Oh, so you don't have a massive passion for this? Well, you do now.
Funny, yeah. After yesterday.
Now it's making money. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, it was actually the diversity. So
Great.
for me, I do hair and makeup. And I don't know, I looked around and I was like, I don't have the smarts. I don't like numbers. They freak me out.
Come on, darling.
No.
Stop that negative talk.
Yes, absolutely. So I for this, the smarts for this, that's what I thought. I don't know, yesterday I just watched people and I saw the diversity and I thought, we all have something to bring to the table.
Yes.
And I love design, I love people, and Carson's constantly like, can you just come with me and start the conversation, then I'll take over. Yeah, and I'm like, that's so silly, but I can see it's like, no, actually it is, it's connecting with people.
And that's a massive talent.
Yeah, and just trust, and I don't know, we're all a little piece of the puzzle, so, and this community is the biggest thing that I've seen for him, just being a part of a community that is just passionate about the same thing, and it's like family, so I love that.
Fantastic,
Yeah.
That's great. So the next deal after that was another one on the Goldie?
Yep, this one was like a proper drug house. So it was a corner block, and I knew we could do a dual lock on it. When we bought it, the bottom photo on the left-hand side was sight unseen. They had alarms set up, curtains all the way around, so we didn't actually get to see that part of the house because the tenants had it all cordoned off.
There was a reason for that.
Exactly. So, yeah, so we bought that one. The night before settlement, I cleaned the carpets, and then they smashed the window, pulled the security. They had all the drugs stored in the roof. So it was all these vacuum cleaners all over the floor, like 7 or 8 of them, where they'd stuffed all the drugs in the storage part of the vacuum cleaner. And so
That's crazy.
yeah, it was an interesting buy. So we all slept in the same room.
On
the
that
first
though,
night.
before we got there, Carson's like, okay, so babe, so when we come to this place, don't look at it as our forever home. It's like, we're looking with vision. No problem. I'm like, why is he saying this? Get there, I'm like, okay, holes in the wall. But you know what, like after hearing him speak about this and just potential and what you can do and like seeing past just the exterior, like I was like, wow, there's potential. There's like a big front yard, like corner block, that's something, right?
Good on you.
So the power was hardwired to the grid. They hadn't been paying power for 2 years because they were cooking, and obviously that takes a lot of power. So, yeah, we went to connect the power, and they had to disconnect it and all the rest. So yeah, we just did those plans. We planned on building it, but I got a bit carried away with the 3 stories and some cantileering and different things. And
Cost too much.
We got a builder up front, and he said he could do it for X, and then it ended up being Y. So we didn't. We ended up just flicking that on, and
So you cleaned it up, you turned it not into a drug house,
Yep,
fixed
exactly.
the holes in the wall, that sort of stuff, and shuffled it off.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, so was that one with your dad?
Yeah. So that was the folks. That was the last one I did with my parents. So.
So you paid him back for joining up to I Love Real Estate?
Yeah, well, he's also got his super fund and got
Great.
after some more of your teaching, and he's got a commercial property where it pays him
Excellent.
some coin, and he's happily
Excellent.
cruising around on his caravan.
It's good to pass it on.
Yeah.
Okay, so your third deal, this is with a JV partner, but not your dad.
Yeah, so I was at the point where I had to, so I reached out to the community. I could always find good projects. It just felt weird using other people's money, and I was terrified of losing anyone's money. So it was just it took a while to get my head around the concept outside of my folks, So
At your value.
Yeah, that's right.
Because your share of this one is, 15% or something?
That's right.
10%.
It started higher, and then, as I got a few no's, it kind of went down a little bit. So, yeah, so I had a lady from Sydney that's from the community said, yep, I'm keen. So we bought this one, and I also had a mate of mine that was in the civil game, and I said, look, mate, if you can jump in and help me out with it, then I'll give you a cut of my 15 as well. So, but that was the way I saw I got paid. I was still working full-time carpet cleaning, and it was my apprenticeship, and I still got paid basically, a little bit of some decent coin just to go through the process.
And I just want to make a point here, that's okay. Because part of the process is also the personal development. Now, even though you haven't gone off and done a huge amount of personal development and all of those other things, this is a personal development process of you getting the confidence in you for who you are and what you can do, your talents.
100%. Yeah, it gave me huge confidence to then do all the things we've done since then. So, it had major issues with the forwards, you can probably see with the house, and had some covenant issues. So all my sites have warts, and I kind of target those because if it's flat corner block, then everyone wants it and pays too much. So, we renegotiated some environmental planting. Got some reductions in the 1 per 4 square metres. Was 1 per 1 square metre for the tree planting. So it was like 60 to 80k with the quotes, and we ended up doing it for 15k. So we managed to have a couple of wins there, which is nice.
Good.
So.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So you got a bit of coin, as you said.
Yes.
Okay,
exactly.
So the next one, what's this one?
This one is next door. So
Stay in the neighbourhood.
This poor bugger, he had the DA approval on the site and got himself in a bit of strife. He wanted to do the project himself, and he's gone to a private lender and paying 4% a month on some cash to do the operational works, and then he signed up a private lender that didn't actually give him any money, but then a caveat's on the property, he didn't tick the boxes he was supposed to tick, and all of a sudden the agent said, look, do you want to do a joint venture with this guy? So we sat down, and I said, he just laid it all out, and I said, mate, there was too many moving pieces. I said, look, I'm sorry, I'd love to jump in with you, but it's not my money once again that I'm putting into the deal, and I wasn't comfortable putting someone else's money into it. So I said, look, happy to buy it off you, and he said, no, I'm doing it myself. So a month later, help. So we got this one. This was right next door to the one that we'd just done. So we had some pretty major. That was the end of 2019. It was pretty dry. We had a bit of a drought, and then obviously it rains, and we had 250 mil in a few hours, and we run the curb and channel on the last project, and it stopped at the end of this one. And even though we had a rock spreader, that doesn't do much so I went straight over, trashed the house, into the pool, and all my plants that I'd planted for the covenant all end up down the creek. So we had
planted those?
Oh yeah. Tons is on board. So I was pulling a few favours. So that was
my shit.
That was an interesting one. So we had a few hurdles. The water mains burst 3 times during civil construction. We did the civils ourselves as well. So which was once again an awesome learning process.
Learning to drive an excavator.
Yeah, well, my mate was overseeing it all. But it wasn't our fault, the water mains, the old fibro water mains, and the vibration was just cracking them. And council were clearly looking at me, and I was like, oh, hang on a minute, you've backfilled it with rocks. And so, that happened 3 times and trashed the site 3 times. So it was, we had a few hurdles, but it was, once again, awesome learning experience. So.
And good coin.
Exactly.
131,000.
Yes. Yeah, that was a good one.
Very good. Deal number 5's in Brisbane.
Yeah.
Deal single title. Fantastic.
Yep, nice little project. So I think I only went there once. We bought it once, quick DD clause, got the removalist guys to come have a look, and they paid 35k to pick that house and take it away. And it was just simple,
Sold
project.
us 2 blocks of land.
Yeah, exactly.
Great.
Just unsold a lot.
So that's a great example of underlying value is in the land, not the house.
Yep.
And people don't see this. It's one of those KISS principles, It's an easy money, it's quick money, and people don't recognise it because they haven't done the work and all the analysis and due diligence to actually know what those values are. And there's process to that, which obviously you're following.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next one, 2020. We're now in COVID, are we?
Yes, this is one we bought just after the conference, I think, a couple of years ago. So that was 2020 now, and here in Brizzy, down in Brizzy, and 1 in a 3-lot subdivision. Once again, we planned on doing the project all the way through, but it was 30% profit on cost by the time we got to the DA level. The market went crazy, so we're like, might as well take that cash and roll it into another project instead of running with it for a little bit longer. So, so we flicked it and made some decent money on that one as well. So,
very good. So your profit share there isn't great compared to the total profit.
So I cut a few people into the deal. So my split's been pretty low, and I was on a scaling, based on the time frame, and it took a little bit longer than we thought. And then I share my profits with my business partner. So my civil mate that we had started out, we now run our own development company. So I'm sharing all that. So I'm halving all our profits.
Okay.
So,
so deal number 7 we're up to now. What's the go here?
So this is on the same street as the 2 other subdivisions I did. Got a pretty good feel for the enviro stuff, and I'm cutting my teeth. Even the last one had some enviro issues, so I've kind of found a bit of a niche, finding difficult environmental sites and grabbing them. But this one, the guy had it for sale on Gumtree, and he had his price, and I said, look, mate, we can't get there, but if we can do it under an option, give me 18 months, then I think we can make it work. So, but that was just when the koala overlays came in around February last year, and kind of killed everything. And all the enviro guys had no idea what SARA were going to do and how hard they were going to govern it. And I wasn't at the point, I'm not at the level where I can burn 20, 30K and be happy about it on a maybe. And it was great. The people who've done the project have got all the approvals, but it just wasn't in my risk profile at that point. So I was just about to sell the carpet cleaning business. So I thought a bit of cash in the back pocket would be nice. So we kept going.
That's a wise decision too, because you say that it doesn't fit your risk profile. You've got to understand that too. You don't have to do every deal just because it's a deal. And so well done for waking up to that. Deal number 8.
Yeah, so it's starting to get a bit more exciting now. This was a great little project. This is I think we've all got that site that we didn't buy and regret, and on the other side of this roundabout was that site for me. I'd drive a different road just so I didn't have to drive past it and look at it. So it was and the same developer sold this one, and it was just double the size. So both of them were DA approved for townhouses. And I ran the numbers, and I just didn't really work. So, but then I saw they changed it into land, even though it was impact accessible, and I was normally stick to code, once again, just for a risk and where I'm at the moment. But the precedent was already set across the road. So when I saw this, it was DA approved for 22 townhouses, and I knew we could get 14 blocks on there. So once again, we're doing, we've got a good feel for the civils with my mate on board, and so we're doing that now. So we've just finished public notification Thursday, and we'll do 14 blocks, and the game plan. So we've got 4 that are being approved for duplex. And we'll sell 10, keep the 4, and with the numbers are pretty wild on that one. So
you're really starting to build now a portfolio as opposed to making money.
That's right. I mean, we had to flick the other ones. There wasn't enough in them to hold anything. So at the point now, I mean, financially building the duplexes, there's not as much margin in it, but we want to start retaining some profit. I don't want to always be chasing the next deal. So we want to. That's the logic behind that. So. Yeah.
Very good. Deal number 9.
Yeah, so this
one...
Now,
I particularly want you to talk about your son in this one.
Yeah, so Seth's been, he gets dragged along to all the open homes, and, I'm always bribing him with Maccas on Saturdays, so he's kind of come on the journey, and...
and how many kids have you got?
3.
3 kids, and he's the eldest?
He's the oldest,
How old are the other 2?
So he's nearly...
Put up here, darling.
Sorry, he's nearly 12, and then we have 10 and 8.
Great.
So 2 boys and then a girl. And he's literally cookie cutter of him. It's really cool. Looks like me, but total him on that side.
Looks like you, acts like him.
Yeah.
So, so I've got this app that does a quick analysis of a site. So I've said to Seth, look, you can have domain. I've got realestate.com. So if you pick anything, because this one wasn't listed on realestate.com. Right. So I didn't I'd seen it a couple of years ago, but the price was just too much, and I'd forgotten all about it. So I've given him a few keywords and certain square meterage that I'm looking for. So he knows what to look for, and then I'll make him shortlist it through this app. And if they don't qualify, they don't bring him to me unless they're half decent. So he's learning, and he brings this one along, and I was like, gee, I think you've actually found one, mate. So yeah, he's going to get 5K settlement for that one. So, which is pretty cool. So he's pretty stoked about that, obviously. So he's come along and cleared some trees and done different things along the way. So yeah, it's been nice kind of taking him along.
That's fantastic. I'm so proud of that. You must be proud too.
I'm super proud. Like he's, I don't know, I think it's so amazing there's spaces like this and with the education and, he just loves listening to Dad, watching Dad. And he's like...
You didn't bring him.
Wow, I actually sat down and I was like, we should have, but next time.
Next time. Okay.
All good. So that's a 6-lot subdivision. So we had to negotiate the sewer through one neighbour and stormwater for a different neighbour. So we just did that a couple of weeks ago. So I don't really like Tans is the kind of outgoing one, and she rang me the other day and said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm sitting in the car trying to psych myself up to talk this guy about the stormwater." So, but the fence was leaning over, and he was just stoked that I said, "Look, mate, I'll pay for that if I can tap into this." And he couldn't put his hand out quick enough, so happy days. So, there's parts of it that I don't like, but at the end of the day, it's still better than carpet cleaning. So.
There you go.
True.
No, that's good.
So deal number 10, we're now in 2021.
Yeah, so this is one that I'm going to do with my business partner. This only dropped Wednesday night. So this has been on the market for 6 years.
Wow.
So, sometimes I'm always searching, always change the search from newest to oldest, looking for the newest one that's come up, but sometimes you've got to flip it. And this one, they were just asking stupid money for it. So, I mean, I've made them offers 2 years ago at 1.5, 1.6, and then I've just been watching the market go and go, and I'm like, I don't think everyone's forgotten about this one.
We're getting up to where they wanted it.
So exactly. So I said, look, once again, so we did this one under a put and call. So they just wanted their price, and they didn't really care about anything else. So I kind of use that to our advantage. So I've negotiated to clear the trees under the option. So I can lodge operational works, clear the trees, and then I'll peg it all out and market all the blocks. So we'll have it. The market's going crazy, as we all know, so we'll be able to pre-sell that, and then we'll just go to a private lender and get that one funded. So
how long is the option on this one?
15 months, but I won't need that because it's already DA approved. So it's stage 2. They've already carved off the bottom block that's in play. Once again, I think a few people freaked out because all the koala overlays have come in, but the DA is already in place, and we are going to do a minor change, but we'll clear the trees under the previous DA.
And then go back.
And say, because it's crazy, because what we're proposing is actually less impact on the trees, but it's just a hard no.
Sell.
It's just a stupid red tape.
You're talking to a computer most of the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
when did you join Isla Real Estate?
2015 or something. So
2015. So about 6 years, starting with minus $4,000, which is pretty cool. This is what you've done in those 6 years, and obviously, confidence is up. You've formed your business. Things are doing pretty good.
Yeah, like I think a lot of that's projected. So Tans has been like, is this all kind of real? Because the money's just been going into other bank accounts. She doesn't really know if it's actually happening or not.
Is it really making this much money?
A lot of it hasn't been realised, but it's happening. So fast forward 18 months, we're going to have a few options, and it's pretty exciting.
Fantastic. So Gary Sluter, give him a round of applause. So more important things than property, obviously, is your family.
Yeah, 100%. So, I was at school the other day, and one of the teachers said, how come you're always around? I was like, mate, this is the first time I've ever been around in the last, 15 years. So it's nice to have... Tana's is giving me a chop out at the moment. She's gone back to work just to get us through until some of these things have dropped.
Sure.
But we met doing full-time missions for a couple of years, and I saw people having to leave and starting and doing some cool things, but not having the cash and always asking people for money to keep going. So I've always thought, man, if we can get a passive income to be able to, give more, but be in a position where we have that time to do stuff. So that's exciting for us, so we can go back and do some more things that we want to do. So,
Fantastic. And I love that you're bringing the kids along on the journey with you.
Yeah.
Because, as they get older, they're going to be out there. I said to my eldest son the other day, I said, so what do you want to do? Like, where do you want to take this? He said, I want to be wealthier than you. I said, you go, yes.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And he will, because he's starting a lot younger.
Yeah. And health as well, because, pest control carpeting, I'm always dealing with chemicals and fumes, and, I've noticed, a lot's changed just with my own health. So being able to, it's given me the, I was so flat out, I'd never been to a dentist, I hadn't done all these things I could do all of a sudden. So, it's nice. So the back's feeling a bit better about not cleaning couches and bits and pieces. So, yeah, it's good.
So your before and afters are pretty spectacular, considering where you started from. You had $1,000 in cash, and that doesn't include the credit card up there either. Yep. Got a bit of money in the bank or in equity and stuff. You got money in some investments type things.
Yep.
And you got some projects underway. So all up, we're talking, 2.6? 2.6.
Yeah.
And when they're all done and finished, you're going to have a passive income of about 70, which is enough to live on.
That's right, and that's
plus all the money you're making out of the active stuff.
That's right. So we'll do some more houses and stuff, but I just kind of left it at that on some of the blocks on the next one. So, but it's going to be good.
So tell me, what would you say to someone who's sitting there? Because we've got a lot of people who are guests here this weekend. They're not students, they're guests, and they're looking from the outside in and looking at this thing that has been called a cult, the Boholt cult apparently. But I Love Real Estate, it's a community, it's a family, it's it's much more than any of that stuff.
Yeah.
What would you say to them?
Well, when I went to that one day, I was lucky there was a lady sitting in front of me that had done your course. So I tapped her on the shoulder and said, look, is this for real or what? And she was like, look, it's changed my life. And so, look, we obviously didn't have any 2 cents to rub together. And I think, to be able to, I'd say go for it, because, you don't need cash. Different will teach the process to create a win-win opportunity. So that was my biggest thing. I just couldn't understand why people would give someone money, because I wouldn't. Because I was like, it was too. So it took me a while to get my head around that. But now I'd actually see it's a genuine win-win for both parties. And so whether you're either side, I think it's been brilliant. Obviously, it's going to give us a lot of options, and it's been amazing.
And what about you, Tanya? What's it meant to you?
For anyone who's sitting there exactly that, like wondering, do I, don't I? I've only sat in this space on that one day, 2015, 2016 maybe, and then yesterday. And it's amazing. Like, there is something in you that can absolutely put a piece to the puzzle. And connecting with people here, you've got something to give, and I would say don't hesitate. You've heard it yesterday. Don't procrastinate, just do it. You're not going to be any worse off, because at the very least, you are making action, you're getting connections, you have got people here that want to work with you. I'm hooked after one day, so I think I'll jump on board. So the next deal up there, I'll be doing something with it as well.
Yay! Now, Carson, looking at your story and everything else, and when I was going through trying to pick the finalists, which was incredibly difficult, the reason I picked you was because I could see a massive personal growth in you. Leaving school early, saying schooling's not my thing, and then being able to transform into the man you are today, and the confidence that you have in what you do and yourself is massive kudos. And I think for a lot of people where schooling is not their thing, and that's okay, I really want to bring home the fact that everyone's got talents, and schooling is one way of doing things. It's not the only way, and real estate is something that can be so malleable, so pliable, that you can apply your skills, whatever they are, and really step up and make that difference. So congratulations for that transformation. Well done.
Yeah, I'm super proud of him.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. I love this story. Carson didn't have the typical investor profile. He dropped out of real estate school. He was cleaning carpets and couches just to get by. He started with negative $4,000 and a young family depending on him. But here's what he did have: the willingness to learn, the ability to spot opportunities others missed, and the courage to take action. What really stands out in Carson's journey is how he found his niche. He became the guy who could see potential in ugly ducklings, difficult sites with environmental challenges that scared other investors off. He turned that into a superpower. 10 deals later, subdivisions, DA flips, joint ventures, he built a $2.6 million portfolio generating $70,000 a year in passive income. He sold the carpet cleaning business. His back feels better. And now his son Seth is part of the family business, scouting properties and earning his own cut of the deals. As Carson put it, not bad for a cruisy surfer. If you want to see more stories like Carson and Tanya's, real Australians building wealth through property regardless of their backgrounds, make sure you subscribe and watch the next video in this series. And if you're sitting there thinking, I don't have the right education, I don't have savings, I don't know if this is for me, here's what I'll say. Carson didn't have any of that either. What he did have was the willingness to learn and take action. That's it. In the description below, there's a short video that explains how we help people get started, no matter where they're starting from. No obligation, just watch the video. And if it makes sense for you, we'd love to help. Thanks for watching. I look forward to adding value to your life in the next video. Bye now.